Hey guys, this is Dr. Cohn again on a off day, and I wanted to make a video and catch up on putting some information out there for you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about the flow of healing that I see in most people. Um, People don't come see me because they feel great. People come see me because they have some problems. Most wide variety of problems. The problems can be tiredness, pain, hormones out of balance, can't get pregnant, headaches, skin rashes, everything that you can think of besides gunshot wounds and um, just got run over by an 18-wheeler. Chronic things, difficult things. And I wanted to explain the order of getting better that generally I see. People come in with things that have been bothering them for years or um, or months. Now, I will say that if something's been bothering you just for a couple of weeks and otherwise you feel great, super healthy person, often there's just one thing wrong. You find that one thing wrong, fix it, and then that generally healthy person goes back to how they felt before 2 weeks ago when they started feeling bad. But if someone's like 40 years old, 50 years old, they just don't feel good, there's generally a flow of getting better. The first thing that I do when I see people coming into the office is I want to make sure that they're not eating anything that they're allergic to. So if you are allergic to milk or don't digest milk well, wouldn't it be nice to know about that so that you can change your diet and reduce something that's causing inflammation? Or if you're allergic to gluten, or if you're allergic to whatever, wouldn't it be nice to know it so you can reduce it? Now, at the same time, a little caveat, usually there's a vitamin or a mineral that you need some extra of that will make you digest that food better or tolerate it better. But still, wouldn't it be nice to know what your weak point is for foods? Number two, often on that initial visit, I try to find out if there are some indicators for infections. So wouldn't it be nice to know if you are carrying around some parasites that are creating some digestive distress, or a yeast infection that is creating some digestive distress and inflammation? These infections have got to go. They create inflammation, they create a ton of stress, and they are often missed by the standard healthcare system. The standard healthcare system is looking for obvious stuff like bacterial infections, maybe a virus, H. pylori in the stomach, but that's about it. I find that they really don't screen for yeasts very well, for black mold, for environmental irritants like black mold, um, candida, microparasites, large parasites. So if these things are present, they must go, or you cannot get better. You've got to get these things out. So identify your food allergy. Maybe you don't have one, but if you do, let's identify it. Two, get rid of infections. And getting rid of infections takes a couple of weeks to a couple of months, and sometimes people are carrying a couple of different types. So that's phase one. Generally, after you get cleared out of indications of infections by supporting the immune system in various approaches, your body clears out infections, and that's feeling better. And there's often a relief. You're starting to feel better, and you're avoiding maybe a food that you don't digest well, or you have an allergic response to it, so you're starting to feel better. The second phase that I generally find is start to support the organs. You can think of the first phase as like get rid of some irritants. It's not necessarily heal your organs, nutrition for feeling good. That's phase two. Phase one is get rid of the things that are beating you up. Phase two is let's do some repair and regeneration and start to get to feeling better. That often involves, hey, let's identify if you need some minerals or some vitamins for helping your liver start to function better, helping your heart start to function better, helping your thyroid gland start to function better, helping your kidneys or your adrenal glands. Those are some of the big ones: thyroid, heart, liver, gallbladder, adrenal glands, kidneys, and give them some nutritional support. It does not work very well if you give nutritional support for the heart or nutritional support for the liver if you still have a parasite. So you would start to feel like, I don't feel like I'm getting better, even though I'm taking a lot of stuff for my liver, I'm taking a lot of stuff for my heart. Why am I not starting to feel better yet? Because you have an infection still. So the first step is to get rid of the infection. I use the analogy like you're being beat up by, you're in the boxing ring, you're being beat up in the boxing ring by some huge boxer, you're losing, and I run up and say, hey, would you like a sandwich? Wrong time. So you would like a sandwich when you're hungry, but not when you're in a fight. People often present in that first phase, they're in a fight. So the nutritional stuff for healing the organs does not work well if you're in a fight. You need to finish the fight. You need to assist the body getting rid of the irritants. If you keep eating wheat and you're allergic to wheat strongly, it doesn't matter if I get you on a really good multivitamin or get you on some nutrition if you keep eating the wheat and it keeps beating you up. Keep being parasites still there. Here, let me give you some stuff that should give you energy. It's not working because the infection is still present. So we need to work on those things first. So closing that door. Number two, again, nutrients for healing and repairing. Thyroid, heart, liver, gallbladder, kidneys, adrenal glands. Those are kind of the big five that I see. The stomach seems to heal on its own once you get the food allergy out and clear out any infections. So a lot of things actually don't need much attention. And an interesting thing happens in phase two. People start feeling better. Their hormones start to get balanced. Their liver's working better. Their heart's working better. They're starting to feel pretty good. And they like very happy. So they go a month, maybe 2 months, maybe more. But invariably, when you get people really healthy and they start to feel good, sometime after a while they crash. I'll call it a crash. It's not really a crash. What it is your body starts to be healthy enough and happy enough and functioning well enough that it just decides whenever it's right that it wants to start cleaning house of old toxins. Everything starts to come out. Mercury, lead, exposure to plastics, exposure to pollution, um, exposure to all sorts of things, arsenic, titanium, any medicine residues, all sorts of things, chlorine. So when your body is feeling good, it instinctively wants to get rid of anything that's an unfinished job, and that is detoxing. The interesting thing I find is that usually people don't show up that they need to detox when I first meet them. I screen them using applied kinesiology techniques for toxins, and the nervous system responds like no. And I take that as a no, not now, because everybody has some toxins. Um, but that phase three, when your body's ready for it, it will start doing some detoxing. Now, with mercury, if you do a little bit of research, you can see that mercury is generally thought of as one of the worst toxins. It is. And it takes, some people say, years to detox. That is, if you don't fix your infections and fix your food allergies and have your liver happy and have your kidneys happy and have your thyroid supported and everything kind of supported in general. I find that when mercury's ready to come out and your body's ready, it can get rid of mercury in a month, or maybe a little longer, 1 to 2 months. And then often it's kind of in a phase. Oh, let's do lead next. Let's get rid of some chlorine or some plastic residue or drug residue. But generally, there's several months of just doing some heavy detoxing. And once that is done, I generally see people kind of cruise into maintenance level, which is awesome. At that time, I generally find that people's doses of their supplements are tiny. They generally have one a day of this, one a day of that, one a day of that. So, and also not many different things. They may take a couple of things, maybe 5 or 6 things, but the doses are quite small, 1 or 2. When you are healing, the doses are higher. The doses are like 6, 10, 3 to 10. Help me repair. And you've got to keep in mind when you're taking some vitamins and your body is asking for high dose, that's not a maintenance dose. That's a healing dose. Help me get over some project or help me repair. And once you are repaired, You don't need such a high dose. You don't need 10 anymore. You may need one, you may need zero. So after you're kind of everything's handled that could be needing handled, then you get down to the serious business of enjoying life with low pains, balanced hormones, good sleep, good emotions, a kind of a nice set point of feeling good. We can feel bad if we don't sleep enough, or we can feel ecstatic if we win the lottery, but generally you come down to kind of a nice, stable, feeling good level. And then I celebrate with you, and I give one of those very rare gold stars, and celebrate with you. And the office visits also become very spread out because you're stable. Now, that doesn't mean see you later, I don't need nutrition anymore. Often that means that you do need to take a few things for maintenance of being in that stable, great level. But the maintenance things, like I said, are one a day of this, one a day of that, um, which is a welcome relief from all the work that people do for detoxing, or fighting off infections, or supporting the heart. Those doses are higher because you're needing extra for regenerating and healing, repairing. But once you get down to maintenance, it's more or less easy street. Less volume of supplements, less number of supplements, and less visits with me. When people are checking like they're really stable, they've gone through those phases, I say, come see me in 6 months. Let's check to see if you're remaining stable. There can be some fluctuations with your activity level. Maybe you take up a sport and you're starting to train. Maybe you need a little bit more nutrition for recovery from training, or um, maybe there's certain pollen in the air, certain seasonal things that I need a little support for some of the pollen, maybe in the autumn. But generally, it starts to become boring. You want to be in that boring category of stable. So I thought that was an interesting thing. I'm just seeing that more and more as people uh, go through those phases. If you're lucky, you just have one thing to work on. Oh, I have a little infection. I'm awesomely healthy. You get rid of the infection, you feel great. But a lot of people have um, a lifetime of things that have gotten off balance. And so it takes some months to work through that. Again, number one, get rid of infections, identify food allergies. Number two is heal and repair. Number three, detox. And then four is maintenance. So I hope you guys are doing great. If I can help anybody or be of assistance, please give my office a call. My office number, 972-880-8541. You can also reach out to me at my email. If you have any questions for me, just email me, lewiscone@yahoo.com, LEWISCONE I'm not going to spell yahoo.com, lewiscone@yahoo.com. And just ask a question if you have any questions. I'd be glad to help. I'll see you guys on another video.